Adrian, thank you for joining us at the One-to-One conference in London today.
Absolute pleasure.
Adrian, we've spoken before, but just remind us a little bit more about the company.
The company is all about delivering equitable and sustainable supply to the battery industry, and we've developed a range of technologies to do that.
And just tell me a little bit more about the projects you have and what stage they're at.
We have a number of technology projects which are for the extraction of lithium out of primary materials such as spodumene and lepidolite. We have VSPC technology which is capable of converting the lithium chemicals that come out of those products into cathode materials. We then take that onto the production of batteries, and we're the first company in the world without a doubt that's managed to take mine waste through those processes, produce cathode powders and subsequently batteries, and those batteries outperform our specifications.
So the next 6 to 12 months, what are the sort of milestones you're looking to achieve as a company?
Well, I think one of the things you need to look at is what our technology has achieved rather than the company itself. And in fact, if you look at Sileach, one of our flagship processing technologies, initially when we designed that, we found a lot of the capital cost and a lot of the operating cost involved in running the process revolved around controlling water rather than controlling the chemistry. So we redesigned the chemistry so we can precipitate lithium at a very, very low concentration solutions without having to evaporate water. Now that's an issue that the brine producers have, but also the mainstream lithium producers. We've got around that by precipitating as a phosphate, and we can take that phosphate straight into cathode production, which we've done, and generated batteries without any further refining and producing batteries of very good quality.
And the lithium marketplace and the battery marketplace at the moment, how are you seeing that?
Well, there's a huge demand, and I think if you look at lithium iron phosphate, which is our primary cathode product, 20% of the Chinese market is lithium iron phosphate. And indeed, if you produce batteries for transport in China, they have to be lithium iron phosphate because it's considered to be the safe cathode material for batteries. It tends not to have thermal overruns, it doesn't overheat. So very safe material, and that market is growing. A lot of the producers that produce low-end quality material are disappearing, but that slack's being taken up by the high-end producers.
Now we're at the One-to-One conference today. What message are you trying to get across to investors, potential shareholders?
Well, one of the messages, quite frankly, is that society shouldn't be anywhere near as wasteful as it is. And one of the technologies that we've been developing is recycling the batteries after they've gone past their use-by date. And if you look at that on a global basis, about 90% of lithium-ion batteries end up in landfill. Now, these things are miniature ore bodies, and in fact, the mass of many of those batteries is about 30% cobalt. People are concerned about cobalt, and what do? We make these batteries and we throw it away. So my message is, let's not be so wasteful. Let's have a look at the entire cycle and make sure we don't lose metals out of that production cycle.
And how has the One-to-One conference been for you?
Well, people understand what I'm talking about, I'm glad to say. And I think there's a great urge to reduce emissions, to do something about the energy balance that we see globally. Our company's all about that, and when I talk to people about it, I guess it's a pretty mind-blowing concept that you can take waste material out of a mine in Kalgoorlie, as we've done, and produce a lithium-ion battery that outperforms many of its peers. And when you tell people that, they can understand what Lithium Australia is all about, and that's very gratifying.
Well, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.